morning, everyone. This is where I start my journey, or where I start the story from. Just to recap you all about me, I started planning to buy a house when I was 24, 23, and I was like, oh my gosh, what do I have to do to buy property? What do I have to do to buy multi-unit? What I wanted to do was actually house hack, which if you don't know what house hacking means, it means that you buy a multi-unit and you live in one and rent the rest. So I started looking into buying multifamily. At the time, I was told I needed to save up 20%. I didn't know that by the time I saved up 20% plus closing costs, these units would be worth more. It's basically a moving target. And I was like, damn, I don't have that. I was 23 when I decided I was going to buy something. I started living as if I was still in college, broke. I'm going to live off of $50 a day, and the rest of my salary I'm going to use to save and pay off my debt. By the time I turned 25, I ended up paying off my debt, which included my student loans and my car. I also had saved up enough to buy a like $300,000 house. Found one in Chatsworth. It was like a cabin, and they didn't have a neighbor to the right. I could basically see the hill. I could see the rock formation. I had been traveling a lot at the time. I was living out of hotels for about 2 years. When I started looking for a house, I was still not paying anything in rent. I was living on my dad's couch. I was under contract on this beautiful house in Chatsworth. It was so small. The mortgage would have been $2,200, but I was like, I'm gonna do it. I've been wanting to buy a house. I may not be able to buy a multi-unit right now, but I can buy this small home and live comfortably. That's when I should have known you need to buy a vacation rental. When I got there, I fell in love with the subway tiles. They had these wood beams, and they also had this cutout that faced the empty lot next door. I remember it was raining. It was so beautiful. Unfortunately, they ended up having a septic tank. There's nothing wrong with septic tanks as long as they're properly maintained. It was my awesome realtor, Wendy, and she ended up saying whenever there are septic tanks, I recommend you get it certified. I know a guy, let's have him come out. And guess what, guys? It ended up they were pumping out from the wrong section. People that were inspecting the septic tank actually said, we don't know where we can actually go in and pump stuff out. It's probably in the driveway, and in order to find it, they break the driveway up. They'll have to dig to find it. We have to spend about $10,000. But I didn't want to buy something that all of my money would go toward. I ended up pulling out of the deal. I stupidly started renting and got used to it. But I was so interested in real estate, I continued to save. I started reading heavily, 1 to 2 books a month, and I would take notes on everything in the process. Real estate books, mindset books, money books, just everything that I needed to educate myself. I decided it's time. I'm going to look at multi-unit. But now you're able to get up to 4 units using a single family home loan. So I started looking for 2 to 4 unit places in Inglewood. All the prices shot up so fast that it was hard to keep up. It was either out of my price range, both units were already occupied, and so my loan wouldn't have covered it. That also didn't work out. I spent a whole year looking for them, but it's fine. So I was watching some YouTube videos. I will give a shout out to Shelby Church. I was watching her channel, and she reviewed this A-frame Airbnb. It was a beautiful black A-frame. It brought me back to those cottage vibes of that first house that I was gonna buy. I'm gonna have cabins just like that. What is close by? I ended up remembering Big Bear. Literally 2 hours from here, I can drive to Big Bear. I can definitely look. I knew no real estate agents in Big Bear. I went to a Facebook group. I messaged them on Facebook, and I ended up getting a call. Found an agent. It wasn't all that great. The first one, we just didn't vibe. I found this other agent, and now I am buying a house in Big Bear. I actually fell in love with the design of like Gambriels, especially the ones that have the roof that touches the side. I ended up seeing this house that was the exact style I wanted, and for the price, this is the house. This is the house. I'm on my way up, so I am inviting you all to join me through this process. I'm so excited to share everything that I've learned, because I didn't have somebody teach me. I didn't learn this from my parents or family members or a mentor. It's been a lot of work. It's been a process. The greatest thing that I can share with you all are the mistakes. You learn a lot faster from people's mistakes, how they dealt with them, and how you
not getting that Gambrel, even though I was so confident that I would. This property had 2 lots. Based on my understanding, you can only have 1 short-term rental per lot. So I was pretty confident that I'd be able to turn this into 2 short-term rentals eventually. I really enjoyed glamping. They had comfortable beds, even though you were sleeping in the middle of nowhere. So I confidently felt that if I bought this property, there was a lot of potential. Could get an RV, a tent, or like a glamping dome, or an Airstreamer. Make it a really cute lot where people would want to stay. I was pretty devastated, I'm not gonna lie. I had set this goal for myself that I would buy real estate before the age of 30. So my birthday was around the corner. Applying, I was driving up to Big Bear every weekend. I was doing all that I could. Plan A, B, and C failed. I went on to celebrate my 30th birthday. 3 days after my birthday, I was seeing the same pattern happening in Big Bear as I had seen in Inglewood, where the prices were shooting up so fast that I no longer felt comfortable with the prices. Saw Gambrel. I was like, it's selling for $375. Not exactly what I want. It looks already fixed up, but screw it. I'm gonna send this over to Alicia. And as I sent her this listing, she sent me an address, asked me to look it up. Someone in her brokerage was gonna go meet with a seller for a Gambrel that was a corner lot that was in the same neighborhood as the other house. Exactly what I was looking for. She told me, he said he will go under contract with me if I am willing to offer $333. So she sent me videos. As soon as I saw the first video, I said, let's do it. And by the end of the day, I was under contract. It was really unexpected. It happened literally on the day that I was like, I think it's time to give it up. That is how I got under contract in my cabin. Now I'm gonna walk you all through the process from my offer being accepted all the way to closing escrow.